So, you have been voted in as an academic rep, and you are beginning to go out and talk to students and staff around the university. Sometimes communicating what you would like to say with staff and students is easy, straightforward and simple. But occasionally you might feel that your voice is being shut down by others, and you may need a little guidance to allow you to successfully voice the concerns of those in your programme or in your college. So what are communication shutdowns? Well, communication shutdowns happen when someone says something that has the potential to end any further discussion. Communication shutdowns come in different formats. For example, "That's not my responsibility," "It's not really our problem," "We don't have time," "We've never done that before," "That's not the way we do things around here," "We have done all right without it all this time," "We're not ready for that," "We tried that before and it didn't work," "Let's form a committee to decide," "It's not in our budget." This may seem quite daunting, but please don't feel disheartened. By knowing what these communication shutdowns might look like, you become more powerful because you can plan your response. By knowing how to effectively respond to communication shutdowns, you'll be able to further discussion which would otherwise be avoided. So, how do you prepare for communication shutdowns? Firstly, consider what the person shutting you down is trying to achieve. People can shut down communication for a variety of reasons. They might be challenging the idea, challenging the role, identifying barriers, or challenging the concept of change itself. Once you know the reason for shutdown in communication, it becomes easier to overcome, as you'll have a response prepared. Let's look at a few examples for this. Imagine that students on your course want more copies of core textbooks in the library. Here are some shutdowns you might receive and a few suitable responses. "We don't have the budget." Current students have identified this as a big issue for them on this programme, so perhaps the budget should be reviewed to meet student priorities. "Let's form a focus group to review this." That's great, but is it possible that we can set some details now, such as who will be attending? Ideally this could happen in the next week. I know that some students and I would be happy to come along. "We added books last year." It's great that you responded to students last year, but students have fed back to me that they need more to meet the learning requirements. Would it be possible for us to review which books were bought against which are needed, as reading lists or student progression paths may have changed since last year? When talking to staff and students, it's really important to remain confident and stand strong. Remember, your students have elected you to represent them, so they're relying on you to make their voice heard. These handy hints and tips should help with communication shutdowns. Just remember to always have a response just in case. If you find that this process isn't working for you, please get in touch with the academic rep team at your students' union so we can support you in making the student voice heard. You can find all the contact information for the academic rep team under the academic rep section on the UDSU website.
Created using Powtoon.